is going to educate us and let us know, okay, that's fine, Corey. You do what you gotta do. So, Rev, please make with the cringe.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rev here. So today we got some pretty
Rev.
crazy controversies involving the ongoing Gamergate situation. And of course, just like any other story involving that, it all comes back to Sweet Baby Inc., the woke consulting firm that is killing studio after studio for their own profit. Now, over the years, a lot of people have made
Well, it tells a tale that they become an adjective for shit in the gaming industry. Like, if you just say Sweet Baby Inc., you think shit. Let's say,
observations about the designs of characters, especially when you compare male characters versus female characters.
oh wow, now this is okay. Let us compare, chat. Let us compare. Lance Reddick, may he rest in peace, and his in his model in Horizon Zero Dawn looks really good, doesn't it? Keanu Reeves, of course, in Cyberpunk, as Johnny Silverhand. Idris Elba in the Phantom Liberty DLC. Looks like him, doesn't it? Shawn Ashmore and his likeness in Quantum Break. And then, of course, Cameron Monaghan and his avatar of Tal Kestis in the Jedi Survivors. Jedi Survivor. Now let's look at the women. And I'm sure Red's blown over this, but I just want to put my 2 cents in before Red steals my thunder. So, it's my stream. I can do what I want. So you have Hannah Hoekstra as Eowyn. This one is not, I will say, this one is not terrible. This one and one is not terrible. It's probably the best in the bunch, honestly. It's not great. It looks like maybe they did change her lips and her nose a little bit. And maybe her eyes, they narrowed them slightly, but it's not bad. We will get there. We will get there. So you've got Humberly Gonzalez as the protagonist in The Outlaws. We've talked about this before. They uglified the crap on her. This woman is gorgeous. She is gorgeous. And they uglified her. They flat out uglified her. There's no other way to say it. They uglified her. And this is a good image. We've seen worse than this. This one, Lily Nicole and whatever the character is in Fable. Oh dear God, it looks like they took the character and she fell out of the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. There is absolutely no denying that they are doing it on purpose. This is intentional. There's no way this can be anything other than intentional because you did not need a live actor model to make this. No way did you need a live actor for that. This character model did not need a facial scan of a live actor because they look nothing alike. Look at this. She looks like she has a Cro-Magnon forehead. She looks like she has the forehead of a Cro-Magnon. That's a man. Like, she looks like she has a Cro-Magnon man's forehead. And then, of course, there's the infamous Spider-Man 2 with Mary Jane. Now, I will say this still frame from Spider-Man 2, this still frame right here, I don't think looks terrible. I think it does detract from the model's looks. The character model, or the actor, is obviously like they obviously they toned down her looks for sure. Like with the cheekbones, and looks like they thicken the eyebrows perhaps. But I have seen stills of Mary Jane from Spider-Man 2 that are worse than this. This looks like they picked probably the best shot in the game, which I will say this does not look bad, but I have seen it look worse. Yeah, well, okay, so Eki, it's two different people. It's two different groups that we're talking about that are getting angry. The ones that get angry when the female character is attractive is basically the unattractive women out there that say games are imposing an impossible beauty standard for females, which is a lie. That's a flat out lie. The ones who are getting angry when they get upified are the gamers that actually pay money to play the games, not the activists that are saying you're creating an unattainable body beauty standard. Yeah. If they started with that model, no one would care. Maybe. But they're starting with this model and a lot of people are caring. They're starting with this model and oh, shit. They're starting with this model and a lot of people are caring. This one, yeah, this one's tragic. Oops, sorry. You're not even seeing where I'm pointing. Hang on. Sorry. Uh,
For you.
this one right here. Yeah, this is tragic. This one is just tragic. This is, you'd probably know it from my face is tired. My face is tired meme. And yeah, it is tragic. This is as bad as this. And those two games are what, 10 years apart? This game and this game are like 10 years apart. Yeah, these two are clearly the worst. But this one, and this one are clear cases of uglifying the actors. Because activists are pissing and moaning about unfair beauty standards. Yeah. So let's see what Rev has to say.
Years, we see lots of male characters based on real life men that either look very representative of these men or even in some cases even more attractive in
Yeah. 6. This is probably the best possible screenshot they've had of this character since the trailer launched. If you look up other still frames, this character it's a lot worse. I think so. I'm pretty sure that's the actor. That looks like her because the picture we saw last time where it was a side by side comparison, she was front facing camera and her hair was like slicked back, I believe.
their video game form. But when you look at the female characters, they're the opposite. Most of the time, they are a complete
Mm-hmm.
downgrade compared to the appearance of the real life female that they are based on. And a lot of people have looked at that and said, this is happening too many times to not be intentional. Like someone
Yeah.
is doing this on purpose. They are doing this to these female characters for some sort of a reason. And for years, developers, journalists, and other members of the gaming industry have told those players that you're crazy, that these are hallucinations, that these are wild conspiracy.
Or that you're sexist or misogynist and all you want is sex, sex, sex. Because also, don't forget, these are the same people that Rev is referring to here. These are the same people that threw an absolute shit fit about Stellar Blade, saying, oh, it's an unbelievable body standard. Obviously, these developers have never seen a woman before. When, surprise, surprise, the lead character of Eve was a full body scan, like a full body model scan of an actual woman, of a real woman. They did a full scan of a real, I can't remember if she's Japanese or Korean, but they did a full scan of her, including all of her body's proportions. That was a real woman. Korea. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was Korean or Japanese. Yeah. So Eve's body and all the curves that come with it was scanned from a real woman. And you've got these I I think you may be right, 6? No, 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 6. No, I know what you're thinking of. No, the dad's wife was one of the artists for the game. That's what it is. You're thinking that the dev's wife was one of the artists, not the model for Eve. Uh, so yeah, and then all these activists are saying like, oh, they're basically talking out of their ass as usual. And you know, I just yeah, I think it was a beauty model for Eve.
Theories by misogynistic chuds and all these things. And well, as it turns out, those gamers and their observations were spot on. So let's go to Del Walker here. Del Walker is a principal game artist. He's worked with Naughty Dog.
Give me 2 seconds. It's suddenly gotten dark and I need to turn the light on. 1 second. Didn't I realize it was getting that dark out? Sorry about that.
And Rocksteady.
Well, Walter, these are people that do not care about proof. The proof is only what exists in their own minds, and that's it. That's all they care about.
And he is someone who has been running defense for companies like Sweet Baby Inc. for a very long time. And his company, when he was at Rocksteady, worked on the Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League game. And of course, Rocksteady is a client for Sweet Baby Inc. And that collaboration was a disaster, costing Warner Bros. Over $200 million.
Yeah, I just had to go flip a light switch on 6, that's all.
Now, Dell had this to say in a
Wait. No burning down my stream. That's my job.
recent tweet, quoting this picture right here, saying, "There's been a handful of times I've pitched a black woman character that looks like this. Then after 10 iterations, the concept or model comes out without a speck of the original beauty I pitched." And he would provide another quote demonstrating more details on this, saying,
I've seen this comparison. I don't know. I'm not sure what game this is for, but again, like we saw with some of those other ones, it's like it's not the same people. These are not the same two people. Like they didn't even need to do a body scan. They didn't even need to do a body facial scan for this. Because it's not even the same person. No, actually, they didn't make it. This is Californian. I don't know what the hell this is supposed to be. Like, if this is actually modeled off this woman, the developers owe this woman a major apology. Because they did her so dirty by doing this. Like, and you know, this, yeah, we're not even chosen a random person at all. They could have just had an artist make it from scratch if they did not care about the looks of the model. Yeah, it does. This looks like it looks like it could potentially be a man, and that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're trying to make women in games look like men, because these companies like Sweet Baby Inc. are trying to move the goalposts for beauty. They're doing as much as they possibly can to try and move the goalposts to destroy beauty, because you've got all these women that are pissed off that they don't look like the supermodels they see on TV, and they've got nothing going for them. So they have to bitch and moan and say, we hate beautiful people because we're not beautiful. And I don't know, maybe, I don't know if they can't get a guy because their personality is also absolute dog shit too. God only knows. But yeah, they're basically taking out their frustrations of their own failings on other people. Yeah, baby genius. These are people that don't work with rational thought. It's point blank. It's people that do not work with rational thought. Um, it's the activist mentality, and it will never be satisfied. That's something that's something that like Hollywood and the and the gaming industry. That's something they need to come to an understanding. Well, they're not going for. I don't think they're going for homogenous. They're going for androgynous. Maybe that's the word you're looking for. They're looking for androgynous. Uh, but these activists like Sweet Baby Inc. They will never be satisfied, ever. You give them anything, they're going to basically take it in anger and say, "Good, you better fucking do this for us. Now let's move on to the next thing that we're going to demand." They will never stop. They are a beast that cannot be fed.
I'm not talking about mild changes. I'm talking about pose, aura, style, softness, age, flair. I
Hi,
hate giving
Dova.
Gamergate men fuel, but it's very difficult to pitch beautiful or vain black women in games without them coming back like grocery store aunties. There is room for both.
Well, Dusty, they can only bully you if you allow them to. See, all these game devs have to do is like what's the name of that one that's doing the Souls like something science? Um, I forget the name of the game dev now. All you have to do is do what they did when Sweet Baby Inc. said, "Hey, pay us $7 million to consult for you, or we're going to say mean things about you on Twitter and make things look bad for you." And this company just looked at him and went, "Bet, go fuck yourself." Guess what? People are looking forward to the game even more now. All these game sites. Thank you, Icky. I could not remember. Western game devs need to look at what Game Science did and go, "Huh, we could do that." Like they need to take some inspiration from Game Science because these ESG, DEI, whatever companies that are ruining games. Warner Brothers is proof positive of this. They need to be taking notice of this, of both what these companies are doing to their games and what happened with game sites. And they need to look at these companies and go, "Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here. Go hide, go crawl back onto the rock that you came from and die." That's all they gotta do. These DEI companies can hold no power over them except for the power that they give them. They are giving them the very power that they're wielding over them. If they literally just tell them to fuck off, it's over. Sweet Baby Inc. and all the companies like them can't do a fucking thing. There is no government regulation that mandates they have to have a company like that on the payroll. I don't know, Dusty. I don't know what the release date is. No, it's six. I think it's I think it's more along the lines of like Sweet Baby Inc. is a known quantity at this point. I think it's more like Game Science when Sweet Baby approached Game Science. Game Science just looked at him and went, "Are you out of your fucking minds? Get the fuck out of here." I think it's more of that versus them putting faith into localizers. Because Sweet Baby Inc. isn't about localizing. Sweet Baby Inc. is about altering the damn storyline. Okay, it releases in July. Okay. So yeah, it's much more about because Sweet Baby they don't do localization. They like alter the storylines to fit with modern Western audiences, or what they claim is modern Western audiences. Yeah, Exactly, Bulge. They will never be satisfied. They will always come up with something. If you keep feeding them, they're gonna come up with more. There will always be something to piss them off. So just tell them to fuck off.
Oh, I hate to give the Gamergate men fuel, but yes, they were right all along. These consultants and studios are making it almost impossible to make characters attractive. In this case, female characters and specifically black female characters, but it's pretty easy to guess that this probably goes across the board when it's coming to female characters. So, all these years, people saying that there's something going on here, well, they were correct. This
I
is
won't
exactly what
sex.
these studios are doing, and it just begs the question, who is benefiting from this cycle? Who is benefiting from making these female characters uglier? What is the
I can tell you that. Sweet Baby Inc. Sweet Baby Inc. is the only ones to benefit from it. They are. I think that Sweet Baby Inc. probably has some really smooth tongued devils on their PR department. That they are able to basically pull the Jedi mind trick on these game developers to get them in, to get them into the development of the game and fuck everything up. Because the only ones profiting from this is Sweet Baby Inc. and those like Sweet Baby Inc. They're the only ones profiting from it. So, so with this, like, if this is for the game devs, yeah, it's a question of, okay, let's make female characters ugly. What are we gonna do for phase 2 to lead to phase 3? If it's Sweet Baby Inc., it's phase 1, make the female characters ugly. Phase 2, criticize everyone for raging on their decision, saying that they're homophobes, sexist, misogynist, etc., ad nauseum. And Sweet Baby Inc. makes profit because it's not their game. They were only paid for consulted. Yeah,
point? Because certainly gamers don't want it. Certainly the studios don't want it
yes,
because they're
Donna.
losing.
I've said that. Like, now is the time for the indie dev studios to rise. This is the perfect opportunity for these indie gaming studios to have a meteoric rise in popularity and profit. Since all the AAAs are brainwashed by this cult of madness, the indie studios, now is their chance. And we're seeing it. We're seeing the indie development companies doing exactly that.
Money as a result, and it
Yeah,
seems like
I
even
know,
some of the
sex.
artists and other people working on these games don't like it either. So who is winning? Well, it's like a handful of pretentious assholes in California who want to control the narrative and control what these characters look like because they want to spite gamers, because that's what it's all about. It's not about making these studios money, it's about making their own money and also exerting their will onto people, no matter what the cost is to the product that they're helping work on. And it's absolutely ridiculous. Now, of course, there are conversations probably end here with Del Walker, but he has served as a very useful insight into what's going on here, and he's really the first person to openly confirm that these things have been happening behind the scenes. Now, let's move over to
Here
another
we go.
potential disaster here. You can read the
Holy crap, just look at this. So obviously this was pre-render. All of this is from the teaser that they had probably about a year ago. All of this. This is probably this is an in-game model that got photoshopped into it, but this looks like it's the in-game model that has been revealed for Jean Grey. Now, Phil, context. I'm going to give you context here. For context, this is Jean Grey. For those that don't know, this is Jean Grey, otherwise known as the Phoenix. Here's another good picture of her. This is an actual comic book rendering. So that's Jean Grey from the comics. see if we can. This is actually from a card, but that's like her comic version. Yes, she is a gorgeous redhead. She's a gorgeous redheaded woman, and Cyclops and Wolverine have been fighting over her for years. She is considered, you know, one of the most beautiful female characters in Marvel Comics. She is like the OG. She's one of the OG Marvel beauties. And this is what she looks like now in this game. And I think it's going to get
The
worse.
headline here, Marvel's Wolverine video game in trouble, has Sweet Baby Inc. on board. Yes, this is a real shot right here.
Well, I mean, let's face it. Marvel used to be known for hot female superheroes. So was DC. Comic books used to, like, that was the thing with comics, is the majority of their heroes were very attractive. Because they were supposed to be the pinnacle of of human beings, in terms of strength, in terms of beauty, both the men and the women. No, I said Femke Jansen. Oh wait, you're talking about the young Jean Grey. Whatever the hell her name was, that was from Game of Thrones. Yeah. Look at the board. What, this? Well, yeah, this is photoshopped in. This is a character model photoshopped into this, because this is from a trailer. All this here, the background, all this is from a trailer that they released for Wolverine, like a teaser trailer they released for the game about a year ago. This Jean Grey thing is, this Jean Grey character model is photoshopped into this image. Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely. Correct. Yep. Correct, Lutao. It's the in-game model that's been that's been found, that's been photoshopped into this scene.
Here, this is the real character design of Jean Grey.
There we go.
This is it. That was not.
Look at that. Look at this. I mean, Jesus. How are you gonna do Jean Grey so dirty? This is pathetic. I mean, Stifler's mom looked better than this. Yeah. I mean, look at her torso. That doesn't even look like a woman's torso. You know, you take away the breasts, it doesn't look like a woman's torso. I mean, my God. No, Jean Grey would wear a dress like this. Yes, she would. But she wouldn't look like this. Like, Jean Grey is thin. She's like she looks like a model.
Not Photoshop, nothing. This is it. She looks like a phantom being summoned from the shadows. Like, it's eerie looking. I mean, this Jean Grey?
There you go.
That's what she ends up looking like? I know.
Yeah. Doesn't have quite the big torso here, does she? She has the nipped in waist with the nice hips. Okay, Pluto. Have a good dinner. You know, I mean, probably about the only thing they got right on the character model was her bust size. That might be just about it. Otherwise, the rest of it was like a man.
I know there's been many different iterations of this character throughout the animated series and the live action movies, but overall, like, are you kidding me? Brother, she looks like Gollum. Okay, this is.
And look at this modeling. The modeling itself looks. Look at this. It's like it's clipping. Like, honestly, this modeling right here, it looks like it's a man, and this is a silicone breastplate. It looks like this is a man dressed in drag, wearing a silicone prosthetic breastplate. Like, the arms don't even work. The arms don't fit. Look at that. She like there's the muscle definition is all fucked up here. This looks like absolute trash. I mean, dear God.
Absolutely inexcusable.
Yeah,
Like
she looks strung
what
out.
Del Walker was saying earlier in this video, like, here it is in action. They are uglifying these female characters. It's very obvious. And
Yeah.
also when you're basing it off of real people in other cases, like, it's just offensive. It's an offensive thing to do. And this is what we're left with. This. Well, it probably doesn't surprise you when you start.
Well, Eki, did you see this? Did you see this? This horror show? That may be what you missed. Jean Grey looking like a man dressed in drag wearing a silicone breastplate.
This is what we're left
Jesus.
with. This. Well, it probably doesn't surprise you when you start looking around at what's going on with this Wolverine game. It is made by Insomniac Games. Take a look right here at the profile, 2-second look. You might have some ideas of what's going on here. And remember, they worked on Spider-Man 2, which is, of course, a Sweet Baby Inc. project that is publicly announced, as my screen goes white for some reason. And if you look through their tweets before they went private, some people captured this screenshot from 2021 where they announced that they're very excited to work on Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine, which is very interesting but not very surprising, especially when you start looking at some of the employees who are working on this game, including Mary Kenny. This is someone we've talked about before.
Yeah, and the gameplay footage I saw, like I guess it was like test gameplay footage for Wolverine, doesn't look next gen either. It looks like PS2 or PS3 graphics. It doesn't look good at all. It does not look next gen graphics at all. We're seeing that so much. Like graphics are dialing back. Yeah.
She is the narrative director for Wolverine, and her bio here, pay attention to it because it's going to change, as we'll see in a couple of minutes here. But she is someone who has openly defended Sweet Baby Inc.
6, do you mean the Ron Perlman version, or are you talking about the comic? Because Ron Perlman looks a lot different from the comic version of Hellboy. Yeah, you're right. No, you're rising. Well, it's because that was done by a game company that actually gave a shit about the property. That was back when I think Hideo Kojima was still attached to the Metal Gear franchise. Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, the OG Hellboy, Ron Perlman. I mean, dear God, he was a great Hellboy, and he still puts on the costume and makeup and stuff too, for like hospital visits for sick kids. He'll still get fully dressed up in all of the Hellboy stuff, like full makeup and everything, and will go do hospital visits for kids as Hellboy. The man's a legend.
You can see that she reposted this article that was defending Sweet Baby Inc. when the controversy involving them began a few months ago. They, of course, in this article completely ignore the context as to why people were criticizing Sweet Baby Inc. as the result of.
I think there might have been Dusty. I think they might have done a few animes, like anime shorts. I do believe it's possible. And yeah, Depp. I don't know if Johnny Depp still. I don't think Johnny Depp can do it anymore. He used to, but ever since Disney gave him the boot because of that whole thing, I don't think he can do Visits to Children as Jack Sparrow anymore because it's a Disney thing. Yeah, he can't. He used to. He used to do it all the time, and people loved it. And ever since Disney gave him the boot, he can't do it anymore, which is so sad and just makes Disney look even scummier.
Of its own employee, starting a harassment campaign against the Sweet Baby Inc. detected Steam group. And also you would see her supporting tweets like this. This individual down here saying you can't be racist to white idiots like yourself, and you can't be racist to white non-idiots either. You can't be racist to whites, period. Now, back when this person made this tweet back in March, you could still see who was liking tweets. You could check out in the post engagements. And of course, when you looked at that back then, oh, there she is, Mary Kenny. So she is supporting other people like Alyssa Mercante, all these other game journalists and people from the industry who claim you can't be racist against white people. And of course, she would retweet this as well, sharing the dictionary definition of racism that this person falsely believes excludes white people. It was all very embarrassing for this guy, but Mary Kenny reposted that as well. And she's also said this: some of you don't seem to understand how narrative consulting on games works, but don't worry, I do. Yeah, this is about Sweet Baby, because I've worked with that team, and they're one of the finest in the biz. 12-part thread. I ain't reading that. I've read enough. I know this is already really stupid, and trying to defend Sweet Baby is a giant mistake, not only for your...
Methinks the lady doth protest too much if she's doing a 12-part fucking thread on Twitter. No, he's not going through it. He just said, I'm not going through it. Don't worry.
Yourself, but also for the companies you're working on, because right now they are a PR nightmare. Nobody wants to support
And yeah, Donut, you're absolutely right. They want to say they're the best in the biz. Tell that to Warner Brothers and Rocksteady, who lost $200 million, and Rocksteady has been forced to fire half of the people at their company. Half of the people at Rocksteady have been fired because of what happened with Suicide Squad. Their entire operation's been cut in half. Good job, Mary. Good job. You just cost 150 people their jobs and lost the company $200 million. And you know what? She's probably thrilled. She's probably 100% thrilled about it.
Thing that has anything to do with Sweet Baby, and it seems like the results are finally being shown with the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League flop that people now can point to.
Hi, Couch Potato. Welcome to the stream.
And say, hey, working with your consulting firm is a really bad idea as a studio. So at the end of the day, money talks, and if they're losing hundreds of millions of dollars in their collaborations with these projects, people are going to look the other way and not hire people like Sweet Baby Inc. anymore. We saw it with Wukong, which was a great choice on the behalf of that developer team, saying no to Sweet Baby. That was the best decision they could have done, both for...
And yeah, Walter, Sweet Baby is not in the business of quote-unquote fixing games. They are in the business of internet marketing and gaslighting. That is their business. That's what they do. Their whole thing is they try and gaslight the shit out of people on the internet.
Their own financials and their PR, because people love to see that. They love to see people saying no to woke bullies like Sweet Baby Inc. Now, we look at the Wolverine game, okay? Obviously, people like Mary Kenny are on the team there, which is very concerning, especially when the series is featuring a white man, and this person clearly has issues with white people. It really aligns for a very difficult situation. Now, you would think if you're on the team for Wolverine here, especially one of the lead writers and narrative directors, you would be proud of being a part of this. Well, as you might notice here, this is the...
Dusty, it's a thing because someone figured out they can make a shit ton of money by conning game developers into hiring them to make these changes. They started off as activists. They probably started off as a bunch of, ugly white women, because the majority of them are white. A bunch of ugly white women with a savior complex. And they somehow managed to con their way into at least one game dev studio and realized they could make a shitload of bank on this. And it's just taken off from there. They've realized that these game devs, in the wake of everything that's happened in the last 10 years, these activists realize that they can con their way in and push their agenda, do very little work, because I guarantee you they're not doing fuck all for work in these companies, and make a shit ton of money. to Frank Sipple says now. You're not wrong, Eki. You're not wrong.
The updated bio of Mary Kenny here, and she has removed any mention of Wolverine from her bio and any mention of Sweet Baby. She's gone private a couple
Yep,
times.
exactly
Definitely a
right,
lot
Dusty.
of things
Exactly
happening here. You
right.
might have also noticed she removed pronouns from her bio. So either this is some progress or this is just they're trying to cover their tracks and their connection to Sweet Baby and all these things that gamers are sick and tired of. Who knows? But that is the situation involving Wolverine. And of course, just like anything else, it always comes back to one identifiable target, and that is Sweet Baby Inc., who remains in the shadows, much like
Yeah.
her, afraid to show the world what they're all about, because people know if they dig into what you're doing and your thoughts and your actions, they're going to criticize you. And that's why Sweet Baby has been on lockdown for months and months and months and will continue to be on private probably forever. But on some related news, remember how this all started, right? All this controversy and attention on Sweet Baby is the responsibility of their employee, Chris Kindred, who started a harassment campaign against the Steam group Sweet Baby Inc. Detected. Again, just tracking what games they were publicly announcing that they were working on. And that was started by Cabrutus here. And look at this. Cheers to him. He has now reached over 400,000 members in his Steam group, which is an absolutely insane achievement, and it just
Yeah.
shows where gamers lie in this entire situation and what they truly want. They are not supporting Sweet Baby Inc. They, in fact, want to know everything that Sweet Baby Inc. is involved with so they can avoid those games. And other DI detected type websites and Steam groups are sprouting up left and right because people know anything attached to those related sets of garbage are going to lead to really bad products, and people have the right to know what they're buying and the teams behind it and what potential threats to the quality of that game might exist. And one great thing to track is what Sweet Baby Inc. is working on. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.
Lovely, red, informative, as always.